What's happening in Mrs. Berry's class today? Everyone seems quite busy, either reading or writing. They are learning about kinds of communities, cities and towns and villages. Writing and reading are things that we do by ourselves. Doing things by ourselves is one way of getting things done. Mrs. Berry is reminding the class that one of the things they've learned about communities is that people work together to get things done. In class, there are certain things that we can get done, too, by working together. What projects might the class do by sharing the work? Well, Bob is suggesting that they could all build a model of a small community. Arthur thinks that they might make a large painting showing how the town gets its milk. Telling their ideas is part of planning together. Planning together is part of working together. Anne has an idea. She's collected quite a few pictures. They show people working at different jobs. Perhaps the class might make an exhibit of such pictures. It would show many kinds of workers in the community. Bob is listening. It helps to listen to the ideas of others. Anne is usually quiet, but now she is telling her idea. Quiet people often have good ideas if we take time to listen to them. Barbara has something to say, too. She thinks that the class might write a report about communities. Mrs. Berry thinks that all their ideas are good ones. Which does the class like best? Jack says that writing the report is a good idea, but he thinks it's something we can do better by ourselves. What about doing the painting? Mrs. Berry remembers that they worked on a painting last week. How many are interested in doing another now? Only 2. What about the other ideas? The model and the picture exhibit? Would they like to work on these? All right, that's what they'll do. Now they have to decide where they can work. This part of the room seems like a good place. These tables can be used for the model of the community. This table for the workspace for the picture exhibit. And this board for pinning up the pictures. Now the boys and girls will plan their work and decide what things they will need for the project. Bob and Arthur are getting little cartons that will be used for the homes and the buildings of the model. Nancy has colored paper that will be needed for water and grass and streets. Ruth has the paints and brushes for painting the homes and buildings. They'll need paste and scissors, too. Here are cardboard and thumbtacks for putting up the pictures. Anne has her pictures, and they'll find more in these old magazines. So the work is started. It's a few days later, and the boys and girls have done a lot of work on their project. Bob and Arthur are working on the downtown section of the model. Jack and Ruth on the neighborhood. Nancy is working on the park. The work has been divided so that each boy and girl has about the same amount to do. Jack is doing the streets and grass of the neighborhood, while Bob has made the streets of the downtown section. Arthur is working on the neighborhood houses. He doesn't mind that the class didn't follow his suggestion to make a painting. He is doing his best with this job. Next time, maybe his suggestion will be used. Ruth is putting the finishing touches on a house. So by sharing the work and by sharing ideas, the work is being done faster and better, and it's more fun, too. But look, the streets of the downtown area are one color, and the streets of the neighborhood another. When the different parts of the model are placed together, that won't look right. Jack talks it over with Bob. Perhaps Mrs. Barry can help. Solving problems together is part of working together. Mrs. Barry asks the boys what they think should be done. Bob has made the dark streets, and Jack has made the light-colored streets. But perhaps the dark color is more like streets really are. Together, they decide that Jack is going to change the color of the neighborhood streets so that they will match the downtown streets. Let's see how the picture exhibit is coming along. Ann and the others have been selecting more pictures of workers from the magazines and pinning them up. Oh, Joan has brought Ann a picture that she found in a magazine at home. Ann says she likes it better than the one she planned to use. So she'll use Joan's picture. Ann's found out that Tom can use scissors very well. So he's been cutting out most of the pictures they'll need. He's also collected quite a bit of waste paper. He'd better get rid of it. Frank has some spare time and will help him. Two can tidy up faster than one. Like Tom, everyone is trying to do a good job. After the pictures have been cut, Frank mounts them. But Frank's all out of paste. Can he borrow some? Arthur is almost finished with his pasting. Perhaps Arthur can lend his paste to Frank. Working together includes sharing things. Helen is putting up the pictures. She's getting help, too. Ann is making sure that the pictures are lined up straight. When we work together, we combine our ideas and our efforts, and we get more done. The pictures in their exhibit show that many things in communities are also done by people working together. The mailman is one community worker. We depend on him, for he delivers our mail. The clerk helps us with our packages. The bus driver takes us where we want to go. The doctor helps us keep well. The policeman keeps us safe. Yes, people in communities do help one another. And now the picture exhibit is almost completed. And so is the model. The boys and girls have done these things by working together. Everyone is proud of the work. The different parts of the model fit together to form a whole community. Everyone has had a share in the project. There are some things we do alone, but there are other things we do better if we work together. When we work together, we help others, and others help us.